guys, I'm sure you're wondering, why is Sarah looking at paint swatches? And why is she dancing? And why does any of this matter? I'll tell you why! I was commissioned to do not one, but 2 murals for a seafood restaurant. Okay. I should mention, they commissioned me to do these projects 2 weeks before they planned to open their doors to customers. It's a new restaurant, they wanted everything to be spick and span, and I was excited to do it. Also, I took into account that it would be a little bit of a rush job to do 2 murals and chalkboards in 2 weeks, so I figured that into my pricing and everything too. I planned for that. That was part of my schedule. So the initial plan for the first mural was a flying marlin springing from the ocean and waves crashing from behind him. And then for the second mural with the mermaid, I was going to do all these floating jellyfish behind her and near her, and maybe in the foreground too. And then a coral reef, that's a small one, you know, in the foreground with maybe a school of fish going by. I still really love the idea. But here's the thing. Things don't go according to plan, as you will soon see. As you know by now, I'm working on a mural for this restaurant called Fish and Tales, and that's what I'm here to do today, is to work more on the mural. Unfortunately, I had planned on working on it over the weekend, but they had someone in here staining the concrete floors, and so obviously couldn't stay there and impede his progress, but they said it would take another 48 hours for everything to be ready for me to come back in. Essentially, my plans were kind of put off by 2 days, which just adds more pressure because the deadline is a week to do 2 murals, and I'm actually kind of nervous because I'm not exactly sure if I'll be able to finish. So that's really scary, and I'm gonna have to really hustle. I'm a little stressed out. I also have a little bit of a headache right now, and this entire building smells like paint, but like not good paint. It smells like stained floor. That is what it is. It smells like the floor has been stained, which it has, and now all the fumes is just like working its way into my nose and sinuses. I'm slowly dying. That's my life right now. So I hate where I'm at with this mural so far, but that's the thing, is like that's kind of like what happens is you go through, like you have a plan, you follow the plan, but it's not always perfect. And for anyone who's a perfectionist, you get frustrated really quickly and you start second guessing all of your experience and skills. So I'm in that point right now, and this headache is not helping. I'm in that point right now where I'm experiencing some self-doubt, and I'm trying to counteract that with positive thoughts like, you're just having an off day. The thing about paints and painting is that you can always fix it. A lot of people get held up by that when they start doing like acrylic or oil painting, is that or even digital painting. Like, there's all these things that keep someone from learning how to do different mediums or different art because they think they're just gonna mess up. And instead of thinking, ooh, I can't wait to mess up and get better at it, or learn how to fix it, or to work through it and discover your own process, they don't. And the thing about paints and painting is that you can always fix it. There's always a way to create a new layer, a new color. Like, you can always paint over it. That's the thing. Don't give up when you are experiencing your hardest point. I still get these moments where I'm like, I absolutely hate what I've done here, and I can't just leave it because this is something that someone has paid me to do, and I want to get to a point where I'm in love with my own work. And anyone else who's in that same who's in the same scenario and who needs some encouragement, right now it's the struggle part. Like, the beginning is where you get all the energy, then you have the struggle, and then you have this moment through all the struggle that you're like, okay, it's coming together. And then you get to the end and you're like, wow, I'm so proud that I continued forward, that I kept going. Hey guys, popping back in here. So at this point, I just went ahead and accepted that I missed out on 2 days of work because of a scheduling conflict with the concrete stain-in guy. I'm sorry, I don't know what your official title is, but that's what happened. I missed out on 2 days of work. But then I get a phone call from the owner. The owner has decided that they will open 3 full days earlier than they originally planned. What? So in one foul swoop, I just lost 5 full days of work. So in that moment, I did what any rational adult would do. I cried. But then, after a good cry and a very teeny panic attack, I looked at the facts. I had 0 time to do everything that I originally planned to do. Fact number 2, I would have to cancel certain plans just so I can make enough time to finish, just to do the bare minimum. Just to do the main subjects of these murals. So that was my compromise. I had to pull back on the quality of my work, and that was really disappointing. But you know what? Sometimes the projects that you think are going to be great, they go all cattywampus, and you can't do anything about it except keep going forward, keep pushing forward. Ain't nothing to it but to go through it, as they say. So, I did film a little bit of me working on the mermaid, but forgive me, I didn't film very much in the beginning because I was in such a time crunch that I was just like, I gotta start putting paint on the wall, just slinging it on there and just get it up there. And so I didn't even think about turning on the camera. Hello. So, without further ado, My tea is officially cold. So, what'd you think? Did you like the murals? Be honest. Leave it in the comments below. One last thing to say about this mural, and it's just the one thing I learned that I want to share with you, and I hope you learn from my own mistakes, is that no matter how much you schedule something, make sure that you have a backup plan. Just make sure you have a backup plan. Okay, I have one last thing to say about self-doubt. Everyone experiences self-doubt, including myself, obviously, but when you experience self-doubt, the key to overcoming it is knowing that every mistake is an opportunity to get better. And it sucks because you can't have it perfect right then. You can't have what you want right then. But over time, your experience and everything you learn will culminate to this moment where you are doing better and better than you were before. The day before, the month before, the year before. You can, like, one day you'll look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all this time, all this experience, and now I'm doing more and more what I want to do, and that is a magical moment, my friends. That is awesome. It's so good. It's great. It's not that it's still not perfect, but see, that's the thing to look forward to, is that you still have chances to really learn and grow. Get in there and learn something new. That's what I mean to say. Yeah.